Wondering first whether the federal layoffs present an opportunity for states, and if so, how is North Carolina trying to capitalize?
Actually, in North Carolina, we put together a website inviting anyone that had been laid off from a federal perspective, or even someone that now has piqued interest in working for our state, to be able to go to. And within 24 hours, we'd have someone from our HR team actually call back and help them decide which is the best path for them with our openings.
From your perspective, do young people want to work in government IT, and how do you how do you point them in that direction?
Actually, no. But that provides an incredible opportunity that we all should be thinking about. So we actually started an apprenticeship here to where not only do we have the interns, but the apprenticeship is actually targeted, and we have different categories for them to go to that match our job descriptions. So if you think about it, if you're in a 4-year or even a 2-year institute and you have some experience somewhere, that actually is applicable to what the job description is. So we've changed our job descriptions to be early career or apprenticeships to where we can pay people a very nice starting salary, get them ingrained into the state and what it means to work here, and give them an opportunity to thrive as they continue a career here.
You mentioned a recent victory around removing experience requirements for all vacant, was it IT positions across the state? Tell me about that.
Yep, all vacant IT positions we've turned into early career, to where that way we have turned them into that apprenticeship or early career. Because when you look at some of the state positions, it says must have 15 years experience. Well, that's not going to be exciting for a young person, because how are they going to have 15 years experience if they're just graduating? So by removing that and changing it to say, we'll work with you to get those career aspirations, and change it to where you only need 1 to 3 years experience. That's a game changer for every single college graduate or every single 2-year graduate, to be able to look at it from, hey, I can apply here. This is applicable to me. I've had summer interns, and be able to give them a path. And so we start them at an incredible salary. We and then raise their salary as they meet the requirements that we have stipulated. And it's a win-win for both sides.
Generally, what does the budget picture look like in North Carolina for IT?
Yeah, when you look at it, there's never enough money. Let's just be crystal clear. It's what are we able to do with the money that we are gifted, because I do believe it is a gift at every person in our state entrust us with. Were there federal hits to us? Yes. So we have to then figure out as a state, how are we going to pay for what we used to have given to us from a federal perspective? So we are still grappling with getting our arms around it, and we will be prioritizing what's going to have the biggest impact for all of North Carolina and ensure we do those first.
In what areas of government do you see the most potential for AI, and where is it already delivering value, if anywhere?
Everywhere would be the short answer. AI has been around for 20, 30 plus years. We are now learning how to utilize it in a different way than we did 20, 30 years ago, and how to use it better than we have before. So we are putting together with an AI accelerator, here's all the use cases that you're able to utilize across our great state. And here's where we think it's going to be the most effective. So we're actually using it and utilizing it in our procurement. We're utilizing it in ensuring from a fraud perspective that we use it to detect fraud. Cybersecurity is another area that we're using it in. So we are using it in different aspects all the way across our state and in different agencies across the state, because I think that's important to know, that it's not just a one size fits all. It's not just an IT implementation, it's a statewide agency implementation.
Anything that you're learning about choosing or implementing AI, Gen AI tools?
I think I would say there is a lot of resistance in some cases, because it goes back to the trust factor. If you trust a technology, you're going to utilize it. If there is a fear factor, people will tend to not utilize it as much as they can. So it's the education that we're also embarking on, because I think it's important not only as North Carolinian, but also as somebody using the technology. We want you to be able to trust what the technology is, and we want to be able to use it in a thoughtful manner.
What is the hardest thing to modernize?
There is no shortage of things that need modernizing. So in North Carolina, you look at our DMV, and we do need to modernize. We need to be able to handle not only the demand coming from North Carolinians, but also be able to handle just the volume of work, whether it's from the dealerships, whether it's from the vehicles. So you have that needs to be modernized. Then you look across and you have a tax modernization. We have an HR modernization project going on. So we don't have a shortage of what is needed. It's the amount of cost and the time implications and what is going to give us the greatest and most impact first. And so while we're looking at everything, part of that comes into the conversation as well.
You haven't been in this government position very long. I have a significant private sector background across the board. So I always like to ask folks, what has that been like, that transition to the public sector? What are the biggest surprises you've encountered? What are the biggest differences?
I would say the biggest differences is politics. While there is always politics in the private sector, this is a whole new realm of politics. You not only serve the governor and the agencies that we support, but we serve everyone in North Carolina, and everyone has a voice, and they all like to use it. And so whenever you're doing something, it's going to have a reaction. And I think it's just that thoughtful way of approaching things that has to be thought of, that we just have to make sure that we are doing the best we can with the money we have and prioritizing in such a way that's going to have that impact. When I look at it, I want to run at the speed of business and not at the speed of government. And so it's also getting people with me on that scooch faster highway so we can do procurement faster, we can do modernization faster, and we can close projects out fast.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell me about that we haven't touched on while I have you?
I don't think so. I think that it's just an exciting time, and it's so fulfilling to be able to put together projects and programs that really impact such an incredible audience. And it's not only the ones that live in our state, but the ones who visit our state. It's the ones that we touch without even realizing it. And so that's the significance and impact that we want to bring as North Carolina, and be able to be that state that stands as that shining beam for everyone else, and a roadmap to be able to be one to help to say, we're here to help. We'll have an AI accelerator for you. Come jump on our highway, and let's start making a difference across all of the US.